Take a slow breath in and let it go. Today, we're talking about something that affects almost every adult in America, even people who feel fine or think their heart is okay. Your arteries are the highways of your body. Every beat of your heart pushes life through them, oxygen, nutrients, energy. But over time, inflammation, sugar spikes, and certain foods create tiny injuries inside these arteries. And the body responds by building plaque, slowly, quietly, without symptoms. That's why many heart attacks happen suddenly. People don't know their arteries were narrowing for years. The good news? Your arteries can heal if you remove the foods that inflame them the most. Today, we're walking through the 5 artery-damaging foods Americans eat every day, why they're dangerous, and what to eat instead. Let's begin. Food number 1. Processed meats. Let us begin with one of the most damaging foods for your arteries. Processed meats such as bacon, sausage, pepperoni, hot dogs, and deli meats. Many Americans eat these foods every day without realizing what they do inside the body. Processed meats contain nitrites and nitrates that help preserve color and flavor, but once they enter your digestive system, they can convert into nitrosamines. These compounds have been shown in scientific studies to trigger inflammation and oxidative stress inside the lining of your arteries. They are also extremely high in sodium. This concentrated level of salt forces your body to retain water, raises blood pressure, and increases the physical pressure placed on artery walls. For adults over 50, this effect can be even more pronounced. Another hidden danger is oxidized fat. When meat is smoked, cured, or heavily processed, the fat becomes unstable and much more likely to oxidize. Oxidized fats directly irritate the endothelium, the thin and delicate layer inside your arteries that keeps blood flowing smoothly. According to research from the Harvard School of Public Health, people who regularly eat processed meats have a significantly higher risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes, largely because of chronic inflammation rather than cholesterol alone. The encouraging news is that your arteries can begin to heal when you replace these foods with healthier options such as grilled chicken, turkey breast, fresh fish, beans, lentils, or homemade roasted meats. Even reducing processed meats in just 2 or 3 meals per week can noticeably lower inflammation and support healthier arteries. Food number 2. Deep-fried foods. Now let us move to the second major culprit that damages your arteries. Deep-fried foods. This includes fried chicken, French fries, onion rings, donuts, and many fast food items that are cooked in large vats of oil. Deep-fried foods harm your arteries for 3 powerful reasons. The first reason is the presence of trans fats. Even though artificial trans fats are banned in the United States, they still appear when oils are heated repeatedly at high temperatures, especially in restaurants that reuse the same oil throughout the day. Trans fats make your harmful cholesterol more dangerous and reduce the level of your protective cholesterol, creating the perfect environment for plaque to build up. The second reason is oxidized seed oils. Most frying in the United States uses inexpensive oils like soybean oil, corn oil, or canola oil. These oils become unstable when exposed to high heat, producing free radicals that injure the endothelial lining of your arteries. This injury is one of the early steps toward atherosclerosis. The third reason is the formation of acrylamides. Acrylamides are chemicals created when starchy foods, such as potatoes, are fried at very high temperatures. Studies have shown that acrylamides increase inflammation and may contribute to both cardiovascular damage and metabolic stress. When you combine trans fats, oxidized oils, and acrylamides, you get a perfect storm of inflammation that weakens your arteries over time. Even if you eat these foods only a few times per week, the hopeful news is that you can enjoy similar flavors without the damage. Using an air fryer, baking, or roasting can give you a crispy texture without the harmful byproducts of deep frying. Choosing olive oil or avocado oil for home cooking also reduces your exposure to oxidized fats. And when eating out, asking for grilled instead of fried can dramatically lower the inflammatory burden on your arteries. Even cutting back on fried foods by half can make a noticeable difference in blood pressure, cholesterol patterns, and overall arterial health. Food number 3, sugary drinks. Next, let us talk about one of the most underestimated threats to your arteries: sugary drinks. This includes regular soda, sweetened coffee beverages, energy drinks, sweet tea, sports drinks, and even fruit juices with added sugar. Sugary drinks are uniquely harmful because the body absorbs liquid sugar extremely fast. There is no fiber, no protein, and no fat to slow it down. Within minutes, your blood sugar spikes, and your insulin raises sharply in response. These repeated spikes create inflammation inside the lining of your arteries. High insulin also increases the production of triglycerides, which are fats that circulate in your bloodstream. When triglycerides remain high for long periods, they contribute to plaque formation and make existing plaque more unstable. Cardiologists often describe sugary drinks as liquid inflammation because of how quickly they disrupt metabolic balance. Another serious issue is visceral fat, the deep fat that surrounds your liver and internal organs. Sugary drinks are one of the fastest ways to increase visceral fat, and this type of fat is highly inflammatory. Studies published in the Journal of the American Heart Association show that drinking even 1 can of soda per day significantly increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and metabolic syndrome. Sugary beverages also raise uric acid levels, which can damage endothelial function and reduce nitric oxide, a molecule that helps keep your arteries open and flexible. When nitric oxide drops, your arteries stiffen and blood pressure rises. The encouraging news is that your arteries respond quickly when you remove liquid sugar from your diet. Simple swaps can make a major difference. You can choose lemon water, sparkling water, unsweetened iced tea, black coffee, fruit-infused water, or electrolyte drinks without added sugar. These alternatives hydrate your body without causing inflammation or sudden sugar spikes. Many people see improvements in energy, blood pressure, and waist circumference within just a few weeks of cutting sugary drinks, without changing anything else in their diet. Food number 4, refined carbohydrates. Now let us move to the 4th food group that quietly harms your arteries: refined carbohydrates. This includes white bread, pastries, muffins, white pasta, crackers, cookies, sugary cereals, and instant noodles. These foods may seem harmless because they are not deep-fried and they are not obviously sugary. But inside your body, they behave almost the same as pure sugar. Refined carbohydrates digest extremely fast, which causes your blood sugar to rise sharply. In response, your pancreas releases a large surge of insulin. When this happens, repeatedly multiple times per day, for months or years, creates a state of chronic inflammation that affects the entire cardiovascular system. One of the first places this inflammation shows up is the endothelium, the thin layer that lines your arteries. When the endothelium becomes irritated, it produces less nitric oxide, the molecule that helps arteries relax and stay flexible. As nitric oxide levels drop, your arteries become stiffer and your blood pressure begins to climb. Refined carbohydrates also raise your triglycerides, which are fats that circulate in your blood. High triglycerides are strongly associated with thicker, more dangerous plaque. In fact, studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that diets high in refined carbohydrates can raise triglycerides more than saturated fat. Another hidden issue is that refined carbohydrates increase belly fat, especially visceral fat deep around the liver. This type of fat is metabolically active, meaning it releases inflammatory chemicals that further injure artery walls and accelerate plaque formation. The good news is that your body responds incredibly well when you switch to slower, steadier sources of carbohydrates. Whole grains, such as oats, quinoa, barley, and brown rice, release energy more gradually and support better blood sugar control. Sweet potatoes, beans, lentils, and fruit provide natural fiber that slows digestion and protects your arterial lining. Even choosing whole grain bread over white bread can significantly reduce inflammation markers in just a few weeks. Small, consistent changes create steady improvements in blood flow, energy levels, and cardiovascular resilience. Food number 5. Industrial seed oils. Finally, let us talk about the 5th food that can silently damage your arteries. Industrial seed oils. These include soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, cottonseed oil, and the shortening used in many processed foods and fast food restaurants. These oils are extremely common in the American food supply. They are inexpensive, they have a long shelf life, and they are used for everything from frying chicken to baking packaged snacks. But inside the body, they can create a level of inflammation that makes your arteries more vulnerable to plaque buildup. One of the biggest concerns is the very high level of omega-6 fatty acids found in these oils. Omega-6 is not harmful on its own. Your body needs a small amount of it. However, the modern American diet contains 20 to 40 times more omega-6 than omega-3. This imbalance creates a pro-inflammatory environment, especially in the arterial lining. When these oils are heated to high temperatures, such as in deep frying or repeated frying, they become unstable and begin to oxidize. Oxidized oils generate free radicals, which are highly reactive molecules that injure the endothelium, the thin protective layer inside your arteries. Over time, this repeated injury makes it easier for plaque to form and harder for arteries to stay flexible and open. Research published in journals such as the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Lipids in Health and Disease shows that diets high in industrial seed oils are associated with increased inflammation, impaired blood vessel function, and a higher risk of cardiovascular disease. Much of this comes from the oxidative stress created when these oils are processed or heated. The hopeful news is that changing your cooking oils can make a meaningful difference in a short amount of time. Choosing extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, or butter used in moderation reduces the oxidative load on your arteries. These fats remain stable at normal cooking temperatures and support healthier blood vessel function. For many people, simply replacing fried foods and packaged snacks with baked or sautéed options creates noticeable improvements in energy, digestion, and cardiovascular markers. Your arteries are remarkably responsive once the constant exposure to oxidized oils is removed. How your arteries heal when you remove these foods. Here is the part that gives many people hope. Your arteries truly can repair themselves when you lower daily inflammation. When the inflammatory load begins to drop, something remarkable happens inside your body. Your cholesterol becomes less reactive and less likely to stick to artery walls. The plaque that is already there becomes more stable and less dangerous. Blood begins to flow more smoothly, without as much resistance. Blood pressure often starts to fall naturally, even without medication changes. Your triglycerides decrease, and your insulin levels become steadier throughout the day. Studies show that even 10 to 12 weeks of healthier eating can create measurable improvements in arterial function. Your body is always trying to heal you. All you need to do is remove the foods that overwhelm it. Healing your arteries is not about perfection. It is about reducing daily inflammation, one small choice at a time. Your heart remembers every choice. Your heart beats nearly 100,000 times every single day. And every one of those beats depends on clean, flexible, and healthy arteries. When you remove these 5 foods, even slowly, even one small change at a time, you give your heart the freedom to do exactly what it was created to do: to protect you, to fuel you, and to keep you alive, strong, and present for the people you love. Thank you so much for spending your time with Healing Good Life. If you would like a follow-up video on 5 foods that clean your arteries naturally, simply comment the word heart below. Your journey toward better health truly begins with one mindful choice.